Hi there Kit fans, it's Louise with you today and welcome to my first share for the March 2023 kit. It's always a little challenge to start the first layout of the kit because there's so much prettiness, I just don't know what to create with. But I normally let the kit and the papers particularly do the talking. So initially I was first drawn to this rainbow paper and I sort of looked at it and you can see I've got a doily here. I'm still looking at the paper and I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do with this? And each month I really try to give you some different ways to use the items in the kit. So I am quite happy when I'm scrapping to just put photos and embellishments and all kinds of fun stuff like mixed media and doilies and anything I can find in my stash straight on top of paper in a layout. But I try to think a little bit outside of the box to give you some ways that you could utilize items in the kit in different ways. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to cut this rainbow paper up and almost create like a quilted cube background. So I'm cutting the strips about 1 1/4 inch to give me squares because I measured the actual square and it was about that. And you can see that what I'm doing is I'm going to lay these around the page and cut them off camera. I'm going to put it all together and stick it all down, because really you don't need to see that. And that's just going to give me that quilted background without the fussiness of having to cut all of those squares to actually make a background, because let's face it, I don't have the patience to do that. I'm sure some of the DT and some of you guys out there in Scrapland will be happy to cut little squares, but it's not a process that I want to undertake. So now that I've got everything stuck down, I decided that this month's stash item that I was going to include with my kits was foil. And so I'm using the Deco Foil paste and I'm just spreading it a bit messy around the border of my layout. And because this is the Deco Foil paste can be used without applying heat, so all I'm doing is adding pressure. So you can see I've just chosen a gold foil and I'm just using the back of my rubber brush, and that's going to just press that foil onto the gel, and that's all you have to do. Really simple. I love this effect. I think that the foil looks great around the outside, gives it that little sparkle, and now that I'm adding the doily and the photo, I'm much happier with how this looks. You know, the background is so effective, but it's so simple to put together. It didn't need a lot else in terms of embellishing of this particular page. I wanted to mount my photo, and because I don't get to use pink very much, and this is a family photo, one that I'll keep in my album, I definitely wanted to feature a little bit of pink, some florals. You can see I've got a butterfly there as well. So this particular layout, keeping it super simple in the embellishing, I'm going to add some of the little hearts, I'm going to add some florals and then stick my title down. I love these alphas, they stick really well, they've got lots of adhesive on the back, so I felt confident that they weren't going to come loose. Once I'm pretty happy with how everything's stuck down, as you can see off camera, I go ahead and I actually attach everything with adhesive. In this case, because I'm not using any mixed media product underneath my photos or elements, I can use just double-sided tape and some tacky glue. So everything's going to get stuck down. I'm just going to add a couple more stickers and bits and pieces. But as I said, because that background was quite prominent and you can see it's got that gorgeous checker pattern, I didn't need too much. So I kept it pretty plain and simple. Now, just to bring the gold in a little bit, I am going to add some gold splatter. I have a bit of trouble with this. It needed a bit of tweaking with my gold splatter, but I get there in the end. So final step is just a few little splatter drops, and you can see me making a mess, which I have to try and clean up. But essentially that is my first layout share for the month of March. And I hope that you enjoyed that video from me. Make sure if you haven't already, you've checked out Kitaholic Kits, and of course hit that little subscribe button. Thanks for watching.